The sirens sliced through the calm golden afternoon of rural California as rookie officer Ethan Cole hit the brakes on his patrol car, dust swirling across the four-lane highway. His pulse hammered against his ribs. Only 3 months into the force, 3 months of trying to prove that the badge on his chest meant something more than just his father's legacy. His father had been a cop too, one who never came home from a traffic stop gone wrong. Ever since that day, Ethan had sworn he'd never hesitate, never freeze, never fail. But now, as sunlight glared off the polished chrome of the Harley-Davidson idling ahead, a knot of unease twisted in his gut. The man standing next to the bike didn't look like someone afraid of being arrested. He wasn't angry or anxious. He was calm. Too calm. His leather vest read, Hell's Angels, the letters weathered, the kind earned through miles and memories. The man's hands were cuffed now, his gray beard stirring gently in the wind, his eyes steady, almost sad, as though he pitied the rookie who had just made a grave mistake. Something was wrong. Ethan could feel it in his bones. The suspect they were hunting had disappeared hours earlier, but wore a vest like this one. Fear and pride had clouded Ethan's instincts. He had acted too fast, desperate to prove himself. The radio crackled quietly in the background, the only sound breaking the eerie calm of the empty highway. The flag from a nearby gas station waved in the distance, and the world seemed frozen until Ethan's thoughts were interrupted by the sound of soft footsteps. The biker, his name was Ray Dalton, spoke quietly, almost kindly, as if he were the one offering comfort, a combat veteran. Two brothers lost overseas. The road was his therapy, the bike his prayer. He wasn't the monster Ethan had imagined. He was just a man trying to belong somewhere again. Ethan tried to steady his voice as he read Ray his rights, but his tone cracked, betraying the weight in his chest. A few cars slowed down to record, phones raised, the flashing blue and red lights reflecting like guilt across the asphalt. Then, from somewhere far off, a rumble. It began as a faint tremor under the earth. Then it grew louder, heavier, a rolling thunder building across the horizon. Ethan turned. His breath stopped. A line of motorcycles appeared in the distance, dozens at first, then hundreds, stretching across the highway like a storm made of steel and chrome. Within seconds, the road was covered with bikes, their engines growling in perfect unison. They weren't charging. They were arriving. They parked in formation behind Ray. 100 silent riders, every gaze locked on the rookie cop who had just arrested one of their own. The air itself seemed to stop moving. Ethan's hands trembled. For the first time, he wasn't staring at suspects. He was staring at brothers. Men bound by loyalty and loss, something even the law couldn't define. Then Ray spoke, his cuffed wrists lifting slightly. "It's all right, kid," he said softly. "We all make mistakes. No anger, no threat, just understanding." Those 5 words hit Ethan harder than any weapon could. He realized that courage wasn't about control. It was about compassion. His father's voice echoed in his head. "Real bravery isn't in the arrest, son. It's in knowing when to let go." Ethan took a shaky breath, then slowly unlocked the cuffs. The click of metal releasing echoed like redemption. Ray nodded once. No smile, no bitterness, just respect. Then he raised his hand toward the army of bikes behind him. One by one, the engines shut off. The silence that followed was deafening, a stillness so deep it felt sacred. Ray turned back once more, his eyes filled not with judgment, but with understanding, the kind only a man who has seen both war and forgiveness could give. Then he mounted his bike, started the engine, and rolled away. The others followed, one by one, until the horizon shimmered again with the reflection of sunlight off chrome. Ethan stood there long after they disappeared. He unclipped his radio, turned it off, and sank to his knees beside his cruiser. He wasn't crying out of fear anymore, but out of realization. That day, he learned that a badge doesn't make you brave, your heart does. From then on, every stop, every word, every moment in uniform carried the echo of that mistake and the lesson that came with it. Sometimes, real courage isn't in the arrest. It's in the apology. It's in the choice to see the human first. If this story moved you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to HOA Chronicles, where every story reminds us that compassion can rewrite even the hardest moments of our lives. Tell us in the comments, what would you have done if you were in Ethan's place?